Happy Saturday, girls. Yes, Melody. I'm going to mention that case as well. Allison, thank you so much for searching.
Let's take it
y'all.
slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Ask me how we got here, 'cause you don't know how. You say we're taking on water, yeah, we're sinking now. You're looking all concerned, like we're gonna drown. But we both know how to swim, no worries, let's go for now. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. I drag you out your mind, and there are days I hate you, but baby, you're still mine. And then we have the best times, no matter what we do. And even when we don't, there's nobody I'd rather choose. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me. Let's take it slow. Where you go, I go too. And if you hit the bottom, I'm going down with you. Let's take it slow. Who cares where we gotta be? You know you'll have a good time wherever you're with me.
Well, hello, my beautiful pearls. Hope you are doing well. Thank you so much for joining me. Really do appreciate your time. You could have chosen to be anywhere on YouTube, anywhere in the world, and you chose to be right here. I know your time is valuable, and I appreciate you spending it with moi. Today is October 26th, 2024, 3 p.m. on the East Coast of the United States. Hello, my beautiful pearls. Good to see you all. Good to see you. Thank you so much. Today we are going to be speaking about a case we've spoken about this case before. It's getting crazier. It's getting crazier. And this is a case out of San Antonio, Texas. Her name is Suzanne Clark Simpson, and she is a 51-year-old realtor and mother of 4. That's really heartbreaking to hear when there is a mother missing. This is beautiful Suzanne Clark Simpson right here. And very successful realtor, very successful family. And she is missing. Mother of 4 from Almost Park, Texas. She's been missing since October 6th, 2024. Weeks now. Her last known location was at the Argyle Club in Alamo Heights, where she attended a gathering with her husband, Brad Simpson. We're going to speak about him. Don't you worry. Following an argument at the club, witnesses reported seeing the couple in a physical altercation near their home later that evening. A neighbor noted hearing screams from a nearby wooded area shortly after. The next day, Brad reported Suzanne missing and has since been arrested on charges of family violence and unlawful restraint. Although he has not cooperated with investigators, authorities have conducted searches in the nearby areas, including, here we go, a landfill. They have found some, quote, evidence, end quote, though specifics remain undisclosed. The Texas Department of Safety is urging anyone with any information whatsoever, particularly sightings of Brad's black 2019 GMC truck, to contact the Almost Police Department as they continue to investigate the case under the suspicions of foul play. Now, we know that when someone goes missing, it's generally, whether we like it or not, someone very close to them. Statistically, it is almost always someone close to them. That is why they look first for someone in the home, someone that knows them, something where an argument has taken place, all of that, right? Thank you so much, Nina. Really appreciate your support, my dear. Thank you. Good for you, my love. It is, James. It's really it's a sad case because she's a mother of 4. A mother of 4. Now, the other day, they went to search in a landfill, and they called it off after some time. They felt, uh, they were quoted by saying felt confident, but then they backed out shortly after. Now, the husband, Brad Simpson, he was arrested. Um, and there was a text, him to haul, quote, ass and hide his pew pew. Um, he allegedly sent a series of text messages to his business partner, James Valley Cotter rather, Cotter, according to an arrest affidavit. We'll pull that up here shortly. Brad Simpson is now accused of asking his longtime business associate to hide an AK, you know what, pew pew. The husband says in these texts, I don't have much time. Husband asked the business partner to hide his pew pew. If, quote, if you're in Bandera, can you haul ass to meet me at your house? Brad allegedly texted Cotter on October 8th, the day after he reported his wife missing. I don't have much time. Quote, sorry for the urgency, but you're all I got, especially now. Social media is destroying me, end quote. Brad allegedly wrote in a following message. Cotter agreed to hide his pew pew in a wall of his San Antonio home, the affidavit reports. Records show police searched the home and the Bureau of Alcohol, Tobacco, and Pew Pews and uh, a canine team found weapons. A string was attached to the firearms sight, presumably to allow for easy retrieval. So what they did was they hid this pew pew in a wall, and it had a string attached so they could get it out easily if they needed to. I mean, that's interesting, right? Um, Evidence entered into the investigation include a video of the same pew pew in the Simpson home when police searched the home October 9th. The weapon was, quote, missing from the same location that it was observed in the video. So, you know how they will go in your home. Oh, thank you, troopers. Thank you so much, my dear. Thank you. They'll go in a home, they will record things that they see in a search warrant, and they noticed that the pew pew was missing. And then they have text messages of Brad calling the business or texting the business partner and saying, please hide this for me. That was a really bad mistake on the business partner's behalf. Brad was arrested October 9th, again on family violence, and was issued additional charges regarding prohibiting pew pews and tampering with or fabricating evidence. James Valley Cotter, this is him. Let me show you a photo of him. Guys, do me a favor, hit that thumbs up. Would greatly, greatly appreciate it.
The husband of the missing Almost Park mother hit with 2 new charges tonight.
Investigators say that Brad Simpson begged his business partner to hide his AK-47 rifle in the days following his wife's disappearance. And tonight, both men are facing tampering with evidence charges.
KENS 5 reporter Megan Reyna joins us live in studio. And Megan, you just got your hands on court documents.
Don't ever let someone you know that you work with, that's a family member, pressure you into doing something that could try to get them out of trouble, but could get you in trouble. Don't ever.
What else are you learning?
Please.
Well, EC's earlier today, we learned James Cotter, Brad's business partner, was arrested Monday for tampering with evidence in this missing persons case. Well, according to court documents, that's because he allegedly hid Brad's illegal machine gun behind his bedroom wall, and a search dog found it yesterday. 65-year-old Cotter was arrested at his home following the discovery. His bail was set to $500,000. Meanwhile, Brad was hit with 2 new
This is the
charges
husband.
just today. He is now facing a tampering with evidence charge and prohibited weapon charge. Records state he texted Cotter on October 8th, 2 days after his wife went missing. He said, quote, "If you're in Bandera, can you meet me at your house? I don't have much time." He went on to text, "Sorry for the urgency, but you're all I got, especially now. Social media is destroying me." When the Texas Rangers questioned Cotter if he had the gun, he told them he didn't. Meanwhile, since October 10th, Brad Simpson has been facing an assault and unlawful restraint charge. He's accused of assaulting his wife, Suzanne Simpson, before she went missing. The ATF also filed a charge against him that day, accusing him of owning an unregistered gun. Today, I reached out to both Brad and Cotter's attorneys, and they both told me they have no comment regarding these charges. And as far as the search for Suzanne, we know they have been focusing on searching wooded areas in and around Alamos Park. For a full timeline of her disappearance, go to our website.
So there we have that. Now, very, very sad. Yeah, it's right outside. Yeah, business partner could not be too smart either, to say the very least. Want to show you something here
Their
with
kindergartner
Nancy Grace.
doing an ad lib for a property she had just sold. Then you saw her sister from our friends at KABB Fox San Antonio. Wow. So much is happening right now in the search for this mom. A missing mom, a luxury realtor as she has been called, is missing. How did it go down? This, as we learned, in the last days, a massive landfill search has been called off. Control room, can I please see a shot of Suzanne Clark Simpson? Because this is very difficult for me to grasp, and I have overseen many landfill searches. That this beautiful mom, living, breathing, full of vitality,
With any landfill search, right, there has to be something that suggests that they could be in the landfill, or something that is very valuable to the investigation is in that landfill. Whether, for instance, like Barry Morphew with Suzanne Morphew, he was seen, dropping trash in different trash cans across town. Something like that could suggest, they're looking for specific things. Obviously, in Quentin Simon case, they immediately stated that they believe Quentin was in the landfill. Sebastian Rogers case, we have no idea, but they did do a brief search in the landfill in a different state. Something has to be there.
full of love for her children. You could see that just beaming out of her in that short little clip we played for you. She's in front of a sold sign.
So.
It's hard for me to reconcile that this woman could be found dead, decaying, decomposing, and a dump full of rotting food, stinky smells, old furniture, refuse, used diapers. Her, this gorgeous mom.
Just exactly. It's probably, I can't even begin to think of how many people are in the landfills.
That's what we
idea
know
about.
right now. The landfill search has been called off. cadets, I believe 50 of them, were in hazmat outfits conducting a landfill search, and that is not easy, especially in Texas temperatures. Complete hazmat outfits. That search, after multiple days, ended.
Do we have anybody in Texas right now? What's the temperature been? I'm sure it's been hot. It's always hot in Texas. Only maybe the first couple middle weeks of January. It's the only time it might be a little cool in Texas.
Again, thank you for being with us as we continue to help in the search for Suzanne. And right off the top, I want to give you a tip line number. This is a very active search. LE law enforcement needs our help.
Oh my
that
God.
Number, 210-209-2701. Repeat, 210-209-2701. Trending digital reporter, mysanantonio.com. Zach, thank you so much for being with us. Zach, what can you tell me? I'm going to move to the news search. They're away from the landfill, aka dump. The thought of this mom lying out in a dump is, I don't have the right word for it. It's very disturbing, to say the least. The search has moved to another area, but I've got to ask you about this. What about hubby, the husband, friend, now suspect in getting rid of a weapon? What?
Yep, getting rid of a weapon. Aw, thank you, Tina. That's so sweet of you, my dear. Thank you so very much. Thank you for being the voice for the voices and keeping the pearls current with true crime, especially with your busy schedule. Love you. Thank you, my dear. Really do appreciate your support, my love. Thank you. Truly. Very kind words. And can't do it without you, my dear. Really appreciate you. Thank you.
Absolutely. So new charges were filed this week. James Cotter was arrested for, according to arrest warrant affidavit that we received, agreeing to attempt to hide a weapon on Brad Simpson's behalf. Brad Simpson himself is also facing 2 additional charges related to this attempt. One for tampering with evidence.
Okay, Zach, slow down. Now,
Okay.
see, if I were putting you on the witness stand, I would have gone through this with you. No compound sentences. You're a journalist. You know what that means. So let's take each fact one at a
Nancy's
time. Because
funny.
guess who's on with me today? Zachary Taylor, right? Jeff Horney, longtime friend of not only Suzanne, but also Brad. Right now, we're talking about a different friend.
He looks like he reminds me a lot of this. I mean, honest to God, this reminds me of Suzanne Morphew. Very, very similar, right? Brad is very much the feeling of Barry Morphew. And then they have these beautiful wives, right? They have beautiful kids. They have everything that they need, ever wanted. And you have this controlling husband that is out there his way or the no way, very arrogant. I mean, look, hold on. Look at this. Look at this guy. If this guy does not remind you of Barry Morphew type, I don't know what to tell you. I mean, seriously, look at this dude. Here we go. Is that not Barry Morphew-esque? Very Barry Morphew-esque. And they're both named as Suzanne, and they're both beautiful.
Of the husband only.
Weird.
Now, slow it down. Tell me again. I want the
Very
jury
bizarre.
to hear exactly what you're saying. Okay, go. What?
So James Cotter, a friend of Brad Simpson and former business partner in several different endeavors, has been arrested on a third-degree felony charge for tampering with evidence. It appears
Okay, right there. When you say friend, you mean business friend? Like they worked together? Is that how he's a friend?
Correct. They were business partners in Cotter's father's company, and then they've also had a couple of other business endeavors together.
This guy is with the San Antonio.
So they go way back, business-wise. Okay, he has been arrested for what?
Newspaper.
Tampering with evidence. He allegedly attempted to hide it.
With evidence. He allegedly tried to hide or what?
He allegedly attempted to hide a weapon on behalf of Brad Simpson. An arrest warrant affidavit shows that communications between the two, with Brad frantically asking for his help.
Oh, okay. With me, an all-star panel. Hold on, Zach. Don't move. Zach Taylor-Wright joining us from mysanantonio.com. Brian Fitzgibbons is with us. Don't move, Jeff Horney. I'm coming straight to you. Brian Fitzgibbons is with us, Director of Operations, USPA Nationwide Security, who leads a team of investigators specializing in locating missing people. Brian, you heard what Zach just said. Let's analyze it right there before we go one step.
Yes, troopers, the time where you are most likely to be vulnerable, the most vulnerable you can be, is when you're saying you're leaving. Now, if you're at, a club, a country club, an upscale club, and whatever, anytime there's alcohol or other things involved, right? People get a little loose with their mouth. They get some people's behavior changes, all of that. I don't know. There could have been some built-up tension before, and someone just snapped.
Step further, they find the friend.
You could hear her screaming, according to the neighbors.
Okay. They find the friend, obviously, because they have subpoenaed, LA law enforcement has subpoenaed the husband's digital apparatus, all of his devices, cell phone, laptop, iPad, you name it. That means all the texts and all the emails. Now, Zach.
I mean, he's not very smart as far as, messaging your friend with your cell phone. People get desperate sometimes. In desperate situations, and they think about the right now, but they don't think about I guess people don't think about that. They're going to see what's in those text messages, and they certainly did.
Yes, no. Did I hear you say that the husband had frantically contacted friend Cotter to help him get rid of a weapon?
That is correct. He noted how little time he had and needed his friend's assistance.
And I believe he said words to the effect of, I don't have much time.
Correct.
Right. What's that about?
Okay. Brian Fitzgibbons, amateurs, do I have to use the legal phrase, idiot? He put it in a text. Can you help me get rid of a weapon? I don't have much time. Brian, help me out.
Law enforcement was all over that, Nancy. Just like you said, they'd have those digital records, and by October 10th, they were already at his friend James Val Cotter's residence looking at his phone. It would be later determined.
Here it is. Let's think about this for a moment. There is this fight. The neighbors hears screaming. The next day, you report your wife missing. And then you text your friend, I don't have much time. Can I, hide my pew-pew at your house? they find an AK with 2 numbers attached to it in a wall with a string, and now they were looking in a landfill. This is not aging well. I don't think. Yeah, I mean, why are you hiding an AK whenever your wife is missing? Why are you not cooperating? It goes to this thing. Why would you not cooperate to the investigation to the mother of your 4 children? These AKs are so powerful. If you get pew-pewed in your foot, the amount of energy that goes off, it can unalive you. Just the amount of energy that pops off from getting pew-pewed in your foot, it will unalive you. That's how much damage it will do. And why this weapon? They had all kinds to. But why did they hide this one? Why just this one? Sounds like it might have been used, in my opinion.
That the weapon was hidden, but law enforcement has been right on top of this lead right from the get-go.
From the get-go, Brian Fitzgibbons. To Ben Powers joining me, high-profile criminal defense attorney, and you can find him at legalpowers.com. Ben, thank you for being with us. You know what that tells me? If you're representing this guy, you're in a whole heap of trouble, because James Val Carter is not going to sit lonely in his cell and not tell where and if he hid what I believe to be a murder weapon. We're going to get that murder weapon, and we're going to find prints on it unless they thought to wipe them off. And that weapon is going to belong to the husband. Just a wild guess. What about it, Powers?
Well, so I think it's important to remember that there's 2 separate investigations going on at the same time. There's the investigation into Suzanne's disappearance, but there's also a separate ATF investigation into illegal firearms possessed by Mr. Simpson. And so the tampering with evidence could go to the firearms investigation, because right now there's no connection to the missing of Suzanne Simpson. It's just a firearm.
I don't know. I just see Barry Morphew, Suzanne Morphew all over this. Maurice, hello. How are you, darling? She is beautiful. Beautiful soul. I mean, look. And I mean, guys, we're almost at, well, let's see here. Yeah, we're at 3 solid weeks of her missing. I hope the kids are safe. The kids are with family right now, from what I understand.
Don't make me laugh during a murder investigation. The Fed's investigation into the husband regarding the short barrel weapon they found in the home, that investigation is over. He's charged. He's looking at, what did I say, Jackie? 10 to 15 behind bars and a $250,000.
Hold on. Actually, most of the kids are older. I don't know what they are. How old were they? The kids are 20, 18, 15, and 5. 20, 18, 15, and 5. Very young, right? 2 adults. Two of their kids are technically adults, and one is a teenager and one is a 5-year-old. You have 4 kids together.
$1,000 fine. They've already got that gun. This is a different gun. He didn't ask his friend Cotter to hide that gun. He asked his friend Cotter to hide another gun. Speaking of, guys, joining me right now, a special guest to whom I earlier alluded, Jeff Horny, longtime friend of both Suzanne and Brad. Brad Simpson, Suzanne Clark Simpson. Mr. Horny, thank you for being with us.
Yes, thank you.
The what's his face? Brad Simpson. He is another one that likes to control the narrative. And he even said that social media was, quote, tearing him up, end quote. And that really bothers him. That really bothers him. He had went into, not him, his friend went in and to another channel and was spilling some tea.
I know this is very disturbing to you because you're friends with both Suzanne and the husband, Brad Simpson. When did you first learn that she's missing?
From a friend, and that just called me out of the blue and said, "Can you believe that Suzanne's missing?" And I kind of freaked out and said, "What? I just talked to her. I just, so that's how I learned, unfortunately."
And what was your immediate thought upon learning she was missing?
Oh, my immediate thought is, where's her pig husband? Sorry.
See, that was my immediate thought. Where is her pig husband? I thought the same
Matter
thing.
of fact, I went to his Facebook page and I said, "Where are you, Brad Simpson?" And I was the only one on there. So I deleted my comment and moved on, but I couldn't believe that nobody else was wondering where he was. So.
And at that time, do we now know where was he? Hiding his gun?
Yeah, he was doing something fishy. He had a few hours to do whatever.
His truck has to be hidden very good. Right? This has been missing since October 6th or 7th. This truck, what is it, a 2019 GMC AT4 truck. It's critical for the investigation. And it's probably because Suzanne was in that vehicle. The law enforcement, they're asking for assistance in locating and providing information about the sighting of the truck between the early hours of October 7th and late October 8th, around the time of Suzanne's whereabouts. Very interesting.
Whatever he did or didn't do,
Okay, I've got a question. Could you backtrack for me, Mr. Horny? I want to hear how she ended up with him. It's like a fairy marrying a donkey. How did this happen?
Again, I know the Clarks and the Simpsons, and they're both.
It's like a fairy marrying a donkey. Go Nancy. I don't know. I mean, I just don't know if sometimes women feel bad for these ogres. I really don't. I don't know. I don't know if it's just a lapse in judgment and they just get too far gone. But, you think of, Suzanne Simpson, you think of Suzanne Morphew, you think of Nina Gomez, right? And these people just marry this ogre, this Shrek. Thank you, Seth. Good to see you. And it's like, what the hell?
great families. I grew up with Suzanne and her older sister Teresa is who I grew up with, and of course Suzanne was around. The older we got, the more Suzanne was around, and then they met in college at the University of Texas, and that's how I met Brad. Brad and I were fraternity brothers at UT, and I'd known him from San Antonio for a little bit, but then we just, we just became friends, and after college, we both moved back to San Antonio.
Okay, hold on.
And
I need to make something clear. They do have his truck. They do have his truck. They want to know where it's at. I think I said that wrong a minute ago.
Just that's how San Antonio it is. It's a big small town, and everybody knows each other. And
hey, Miss Margaret, good to see you.
So unfortunately, there's a lot of really good folks affected in this terrible tragedy, and we want answers too.
So these two have known each other for quite some time. So how did it end up that he convinced her to marry him?
That's a good question. We all thought that he was a man of outstanding character, and it's amazing the things you find out, huh?
You know what's interesting about what you said, Jeff? So many things, but let me go to Courtney Lasky joining me, board certified behavior analyst at True North Behavioral Consulting. Courtney, in addition to being a felony prosecutor for over a decade, I worked at night volunteering at the Battered Women's Center hotline. Mm-hmm. You know what's amazing, Courtney, is how charming an abuser can be.
Yes.
If you knew public officials' wives calling in to that hotline, and when you'd see them on TV, butter wouldn't melt in their mouth. I mean, they were so charming, affable, friendly, charismatic. But at home, they beat the HELL out of their spouse. Yep. So I'm hearing Jeff Horney say he was an outstanding character. We all liked him. We were fraternity brothers. But nobody can believe that he could be capable of this. And let me stress, he remains innocent, presumed innocent under the law until he's been proven in court by judge or jury to be guilty. That said, how is that? How can an abuser be so charming? I mean, Courtney, the landfill search has been called off, and law enforcement made it very clear they were convinced they would find her there.
Yes,
but
they were confident.
Guy, I believe, has outsmarted police. How can he be so charming and convince so many people he's a great guy?
Yes. We often know with the personalities of domestic violence, the abusers are often charismatic, they're charming, they have a way of convincing the world that they are quality individuals, while the victim of domestic violence, they often go into the fight or flight or the third response of fawning. And with fawning,
let me show you this very quickly. I want to show you this truck of what we're looking at. Right here. They've got it. They've got the truck. But they want to know if anyone else has seen it in those areas at this time. It does sound familiar. It really does sound familiar, Lady for Justice. It sure does. Guys, do me a favor. Hit that thumbs up button. Greatly appreciate it. Oops, where we go? Okay, here we go.
Is the people pleasing, it's the conflict avoidance.
I mean, I think, it takes, the more a person can manipulate these women, I think almost for a lot of these arrogant men, it becomes almost like a game, or yes, I'm going to charm the pants off of this person. It's almost like a competition. If they can manipulate their way into getting a date with them, and and it's not who they are at all. And you just heard Nancy, she was talking about how elected officials' wives calling in, right? You have to be somewhat charismatic to be some sort of elected official. People have to like you of some sort to vote for you.
It's pretending that everything on the outside is okay. And unfortunately, that is the most common, especially in these personalities where on the outside, everything's beautiful, perfect. But for Suzanne, it wasn't perfect at home.
Jeff Horney joining me, longtime friend of both Suzanne and Simpson's. Jeff, is that true? Was he nice guy, charismatic, engaging?
Yes. Again, he, the area in which he's from is a very close-knit area, and the place where they were beforehand at the Argyle is a meeting place for these a lot of my friends in the Alamo Heights area, and it's a drinking establishment. And unfortunately, I think that
Correct.
whenever there is alcohol involved in anything, it puts a whole nother level of I don't even know what the word is. Just it screws a lot of things up when folks have been drinking.
Suzanne and Brad were.
We have the National DV hotline below, and other hotlines available if you need help. There is always 24 hours a day, 7 days a week assistance available. You're not alone. We all need help at some point in our lives, and there's no shame in asking for help. We're not meant to do it alone. We are social creatures, and we need one another. We need community to be there for one another in those times. And just know you're not alone. If you need help, this hotline is always available. Reach out and ask, because they will set you up with a plan, because it is very, very dangerous the last when you are leaving. So you need a plan. You don't want your abuser to be around when that is happening. And it's not your fault. It is not your fault either.
Were invited to a party there. The Argyle is a very exclusive club in San Antonio. It's a very high membership to join that club.
Brad and Suzanne.
I mean, you see these guys here, right? The picture perfect life. But let me tell you something. No one's life is picture perfect. Nobody. I don't care how cute it is on Instagram. I don't care. All of us have struggles in our life. We all, at some point or another, right? And we're all nothing is as perfect as Instagram or Facebook or whatever they would like you to think it. So let's keep that.
Simpson returned home from dinner at the Argyle. A neighbor hears loud arguing from their home. So we're holding out hope that maybe she's trying to be away from the home to get away from that situation. That's not totally uncommon. But what is uncommon, what is unusual, is that this was a woman who worked and was very dependable and loved her children and was always in contact with her children and her family and her friends.
You are hearing the Los Alamos PD Chief, Fidel Villegas, and more from the chief.
We would love for her to be alive, obviously. There's nothing concrete that says she's not alive. And again, I owe it to the family. We all owe it to the family to speak of her in a way where other people have been found, like I said, injured, in distress, lost, troubled, hiding away. All of those things are possible.
That from our
Love does not hurt. It does not hurt you. It doesn't physically hurt you. It doesn't emotionally hurt you. If you're a believer in a higher being, right? God is love. And if it's not good, then it's not from God, right? So if someone says they love you, but they are not showing you love, that is not love. Why would someone you cannot beat anyone into any type of submission. You cannot beat anyone into any type of submission. It will never work, ever. Hey, Nurse Sandy.
Our friends at WOIA News 4 to Jeff.
DV is something that makes me extremely nervous. When I was growing up, I was at one of my friend's house, and his mom and dad got into it, and this man beat the living crap out of his mother, knocked some of her teeth out, and that scarred me as a kid. I will never forget it. We were sobbing and crying, and God, it brings emotions up even now as a 40-year-old man. To think, and she's the mother is trying to comfort us at that time. She's got her teeth knocked out, and she's grabbing us because we're crying. No, honey, it's okay. It's okay. I'm okay. And it infuriates me to think that women, men, anyone goes through this every single day. It's beyond. And you will, I mean, I witnessed this once. My friend witnessed this a lot. But finally she got away. Thank God. She's doing wonderful now. But it took time. And some aren't as lucky. And I don't think Suzanne Clark Simpson I don't think she was one that got away.
Torney, longtime friend of both Suzanne and husband Brad Simpson. Jeff, do you believe, her youngest child is still in early childhood education that has to be dropped off and picked up. I wonder if he took her that morning, and we have confirmed through the school that he did drop the children off. So if he dropped them off that morning, he didn't know she was gone because usually she drops him off. Do you believe that Suzanne would ever not show up to pick her child up from school?
No, absolutely not. Every time we talked, the baby was with her. and the baby's in a fifth grader now, so she's not a baby, but I'm sorry, she's 5. So no, never. And another thing that I want to mention too is that it doesn't take, in South Texas, it does not take very long to get out to a desolate area. We're an hour away, we're 2 hours away from the border. Where there is in South Texas, there are many ranches and places that especially now that his partner had been arrested. No telling what he did to assist him.
Arctic, I am so sorry, my dear. Sound like a really mentally evil person.
So I want to, remember that too, is that if he had help, no telling where she is, because again, it doesn't take any time to get to nowhere in South Texas. So,
and just think about it. Jeff. If he asked someone to what friend goes along with hiding a potential murder weapon?
Yeah, and this was a man that was in their life. Sorry to interrupt you. This was a man that was at dinner parties, and
this business partner should have said, listen, what the hell is wrong? And he should have called immediately. And was considered a friend. And that's another thing. I don't get that, and I don't understand why their neighbors didn't call the cops. Dina, I need to cover that again. That story. I was literally right in. You guys remember when I was in Northern Virginia just a while back? I was on a little vacation. I was literally in that community. Right there. Right around it just blows my mind.
And that's the one that hurts the worst.
Yeah, because at the very beginning, and I've seen this, Jeff, in so many cases of domestic abuse, that's really a nice way of putting beating the hell out of the woman.
Yeah.
You remember that picture of Nicole Brown Simpson with the huge eye, just black and swollen, and
the bot case. It's sad because she has nobody here other than her her friends, who she has nobody. And I hope you feel better, Aries, my friend.
The look on her face, she had been beaten like a yard dog. That.
It's very sad. Nina, thank you so much, my friend. Really appreciate you and your support. Thank you, dear. Love you, my sweet, sweet friend. Thank you so much. The friend gets emotional. Yeah. Everybody needs somebody. Everybody. We all need support.
That's what domestic abuse is. But so often, Jeff, people hear a scream, they know it's happening, they hear the yelling, and they don't want to get in.
You're not getting involved whenever you call something. You're not getting involved. You're just calling the police. They don't need to. They don't have to know who it is.
Involved. And if, and I'm not faulting the neighbor, because without the neighbor, we'd have nothing right now.
Sure.
But if police had been called at that first scream, maybe, when they first heard the argument, maybe she would be alive. But again, in the neighbor's defense, sometimes you hear an argument, you think, oh, they're arguing again.
Yeah, there's
and that's
the Simpsons again.
Right?
They're having another fight. Yeah, I agree with that.
Ugh.
Yeah.
So
yes,
this is what we know right now. The
I do.
search
Absolutely
has moved The search is moved. And following up on what Jeff Horney just told us, to Ben Powers, high-profile criminal defense attorney, Ben, if he would ask a friend to hide potentially a murder weapon, and the friend went along with it because now he's charged with tampering, if he had said, hell no, I'm not hiding a gun for you, then he wouldn't be charged right now with evidence tampering. So I'm deducing that he hid the gun. So if he would ask that friend to hide a gun, would he ask someone to hide a body? Think about it. And did you just...
I'm sorry, forgotten TV survivors. I am so sorry. It's never okay.
Hear what Jeff said, how close this is to the Mexican border? For all I know, she could be across the border right now.
Well, so with the nature of the investigation leading to the charges of the friend that was asked to hide the gun and presumably did hide the gun, that tells us that the investigators have access to Mr. Simpson's phone, which will include things like GPS data, cell ping tower data, other ways to track his movements that night, and it'll draw a radius of where he went from the home in the key hours following that argument that the neighbor says that they witnessed. And that should help to set some boundaries and some parameters for where should be searched if Mr. Simpson has any culpability in Miss Simpson's disappearance.
Well, you know what, Ben Powers, now I see why you win so many cases. Fitzgibbons, I was just thinking of our mutual acquaintance, Alex Murdaugh. His own cell phone, his wife's cell phone, his son.
You know, if it's nothing, right? Even if you think that something could be going on and they're just over there having fun and it's nothing, no harm, no foul, right? What comment? Oh, I see what you're saying. Are you still in a situation, DV survivors?
Cell phone and his Murdaugh's nav system and his state-of-the-art Suburban did him in, because you can see exactly what time he cranked up that Suburban to leave the double murder scene where he left his wife Maggie and son Paul bleeding dead. You can see when he put it in reverse, when he shut the doors even on that nav.
Have you reached out to any churches or local
system? When he put it in reverse, then put it in drive.
If you need help with resources or anything, you can email me. Guys, mods, please drop my email.
Then took off and then slowed down. You can tell he let the passenger window down. These things are awesome. Throws out Maggie's cell phone where it's found on the side of the road, lets the window up and continues on to where else? To mommy's house so he can hide out and have an alibi there. These nav systems, amazing. And like Powers just said, the power of the ping, right? If he was dumb enough to take his cell phone with him,
I don't know, but we can find some resources for her in her area if she wants to email me or text
hide Suzanne's body. We got him. No, actually, we don't have him, Fitzgibbons, because I think they were looking at those pings and that led them to the landfill where they found nothing.
Yeah, and I'll tell you, Nancy, there's an important point to be made here. They may have not found anything at the landfill. These searches are being driven by that data. Additionally, with Cotter, the friend, there's an important thing that we left out here.
I mean, even if we need to get her rent her a room for her and her son.
He said to police that he retrieved a .22 caliber rifle at Simpson.
Forgotten TV. Yeah, but if you want to contact me, I can find you resources. We can get you a room, rent you a room with you and your son or
Simpson's
something.
request. Okay, this is simply not true. This is in the arrest affidavit that they found a Chinese-made AK-47 hidden in the wall of his house. So we have two key things to highlight here. Cotter lied to police, number one, about his assistance he provided to Simpson. The second thing is that there's an informant involved that led police back to Cotter's house. So police are all over this cell phone data, the messages, the pings, all of it.
Out arguing, trying
around Olmos Park. Cops have enlisted the help of Texas Search and Rescue and are asking the public to leave the search to the professionals. Foot searchers and dog teams are combing several areas for any trace of Suzanne.
Make no mistake about it, this is a huge blow to law enforcement. After days.
Well, I mean, you know, being told, you know, you're an animal or anything, you know, over and over, and being mentally, you know, it gets to you over a certain amount of time. You know, like they say, you know, you are your words, you know, what you say to yourself, the words that are constantly being said to you, or whatever. That's very sweet of you, James. But yes, there's my email. All you have to do is email me, and even if we need to, you know, rent you and your son a room wherever you're located, just let me know.
And days in Texas heat looking through a landfill dump. They had to call it off. And they were very clear as they started that search that they believed they would find Suzanne there. What led them to believe that? And why was she not there, or could they not find her by the time they had finished the search? That's a huge...
Oh, Janice, thank you so very much for becoming a Pearl. Really do appreciate you, my dear. Thank you, my dear. Welcome to the Pearl family. And may I say, pearls look amazing on you, darling. Y'all, please welcome Janice Place as our new Pearl member. Thank you, my dear. Yeah, oops. There we go. Okay, here we go. Yeah, it's very scary.
Huge blow. Now the search has moved to a new location.
Oh, no.
I guarantee you, guided by pings and nav system connected to the husband, Brad Simpson. Also, at this time, Simpson demands...
Oh, thank you, Miss Margaret. Thank you so much, my dear. Appreciate you. If she decides to take that step, don't worry about it. We'll get her one for sure. Thank you so much for your help. I appreciate you, my dear. The Hatters Madness. Thank you, Hatters. Appreciate you, my dear. Love you too. You are very sweet. It's very scary. I mean, I was just speaking about something that happened 30 years ago, you know, and it still brings it up in me, and I just can't imagine living through it every day.
Court allow him see his children amidst the search for his missing wife. Fat chance. Legal term, snowball chance in hell. There is a no contact order in place because remember, and isn't this true? Very quickly, Courtney Lasky, when the husband, the father, the male partner in the home has beaten or abused the mother, then they don't get to have access to the children because they are familial abusers.
Absolutely. And this goes back to that.
There's a lady that I know. It doesn't matter what city you're in. She will find someone in that city, and they will work out a plan if need be. She'll find someone. So all she has to do is contact me, and if she's ready to walk on, that's a decision that has to be for her. But if she's ready, we'll make sure she's in a safe place for sure. Nina, thank you, my dear. Appreciate you. Very sweet of you as always. Thank you so much. She said she had to go. He was coming back and stuff. I don't know, but there's people out there. I know sometimes it can feel like there's no help, but there's always help. There's always someone who is willing to help. That's what I do, Justin. I find the county and private. Yeah. There's a lot of private people who are willing to help. So
characteristic we talked about that manipulation piece. So right now,
because someone that has been doing this for years, and they'll promise they're going to stop. No, they don't stop, and you will end up being a statistic like Suzanne Clark Simpson. Sometimes, and this is the thing, sometimes someone may not be this, serial abuser, but they just snap one day. And that's very scary. If you don't get away, it's not going to get any better.
Now Brad could be trying to manipulate the media, get his perspective of, I'm a father, I'm loving, I care for my children. But
Tina, I have to believe that there are still more good people in the world than not. I truly believe most people are decent, at the very least, decent. So I believe that there's still more. We hear about the bad, but I do believe that more people are good than not. I have to believe that to wake up every morning.
we know with this behavior that it escalates over time, and he might have been demonstrating similar abuse to the children in different ways. It could have been mental, verbal abuse. We don't know, but we do know that these children need to be protected. And until we can prove that he is innocent and he is good to these kids, it's not happening.
Straight out to Zach Taylor, right? Zach, tell me the location of the new concentrated search.
Currently, law enforcement is searching in wooded areas close to the family's Olmos Park home, which is on the north side of San Antonio.
Now, Zach, isn't it true that that is where the neighbor heard a scream?
Absolutely. The neighbor reported going out to find the couple and hearing the scream just outside their Olmos Park home.
Well, you're absolutely right. This occurred after the couple came home from that ritzy country club, dinner club, aka drinking club. I'm
so proud of you. You are a rock star. That's amazing.
Argyle, listen.
An hour after Brad and Suzanne Simpson return home from dinner at the Argyle, a neighbor hears loud arguing from their home. The yelling seems to get louder, and the neighbor peeks out of their window, shocked to see the Simpsons in a physical fight outside their home. It looks like Suzanne, still dressed from dinner, is trying to get away, but Brad Simpson keeps pulling her back. The couple eventually moves out of the neighbor's sightline.
I mean, look at this home. This is a very exclusive. It's a very exclusive neighborhood. It's a very old money neighborhood, if you will. This man just in my opinion, I don't believe Suzanne is alive at all. He, in my opinion, destroyed his entire family, their entire lives, over something that, over a moment.
Jeff Horney joining me along with Zach Chiller Wright. Jeff, longtime friend of both Suzanne and the
Your entire world can change in the blink of a moment.
husband, Brad Simpson. Jeff, have you ever seen the home in which they're currently living?
Oh, yeah. Yes.
Tell me about the home, and I want to also hear about the forest, the heavily wooded area surrounding the home.
Yeah. Well, again, the home is on the main street. It's on Almas Drive, the main street of this area, and behind their house, as you can see, there's some wooded area, but also, I guess it would be north of their house is a Highway 281, and underneath.
Yeah, if you if you need help, the sign is right. You see anyone do this? Thumb going in, this. It means trapped. Help. You ever see anyone do that? Call 911. Don't say anything to them. Just call 911. Follow where they're going. Take their the vehicle, make, model, license plate, and call 911 in the direction that they are going. Right. Or if you can just, strike up a conversation with them or whatever,
Beneath that, right?
Usually, a lot of times the abuser will run then as well. So
I'm talking almost directly where they live it's a dam. It's called the Almas Dam, and it's a creek bed. And
thank you, Zelda, for 8 months, my dear. Really do appreciate you. 8 continuous months. Thank you just for everybody. Love you too, my sweet Zelda. Thank you so very much. I really do appreciate your monthly support there. Thank you, my love. Truly. All right.
if water was running through there, there's no way that anything would stick around, I don't think. But they have to cover a lot of area. I don't know the exact acreage of the Almas Basin, but it's a large area, and there's a lot of woods, and some homeless folks live out in the woods, and they even found a firearm out there from somebody else. So I guess if you were to hide a body somewhere, that would be a good place.
They got to bring out the cadaver dogs, and it's very, very difficult to bring dogs into that terrain. Very heavily wooded area. We're talking about a 32 square mile area, seemingly impossible. Brian Fitzgibbons, we've heard from Jeff Horney about the exterior and the forest terrain outside the home, as well as a dam. But Brian Fitzgibbons, you pointed out something very, very interesting to me about the location of that AK. Tell me that.
Nancy, so Brad Simpson texted his friend and business associate, James Val Cotter, apparently to move a firearm. Now, police were in Cotter's residence speaking to him as early as October 10th. At that time, Cotter told police that he moved a .22 caliber rifle for his friend Brad Simpson.
I believe she was seen walking off at some point. Suzanne was, and I think he picked her up somewhere from what I understand. And so we have no idea where she is. They're looking in a very specific area. We're going to go over this here in just a
turned
minute.
out in the arrest affidavit to appear to be a lie. Police, with the assistance of a canine specifically trained to detect firearms, alerted on a wall that had a TV mounted to it in Cotter's residence. Police removed a portion of that wall and found an AK-47 that had belonged to Brad Simpson, stuffed and hidden behind that wall.
Mom of four,
exactly.
Suzanne Simpson, her
Steve person invested enough to leave their home with a flashlight to search for a fighting couple would have called police after hearing screams. Gilmore also points out that Suzanne's phone last pinged a half mile from her home at 7:15 a.m. Monday morning.
There is no way, according to everyone that knows Suzanne, she was a very punctual person. She said she was going to be there. She was going to be there. If you're not going to leave your 4 children, one being a 5-year-old, this is not going to end well, my friends. It's not going to end well. For what?
Not lining up with the neighbor's timeline, which suggests Brad Simpson discarded his wife's body and belongings late Sunday night.
Look right here.
I agree and disagree with the defense attorney's attack. All the state's eyewitness or ear witnesses are going to be attacked on cross-examination. That is a given. So that witness, straight out to you, Ben Powers, is going to be attacked. And the defense attorney's got a little something to work with. If he went out looking with a flashlight, why didn't he call police? Well, I don't know why he didn't call police, but that does not mean he didn't see or hear what he saw and heard.
Well, so it might mean that he didn't see what he claims he saw and heard. You know, there's obstructions in the photos that have been shown of the home, as far as there's a fence line, there's trees in front of the house, other factors like it was late at night, so the lighting might have been bad. And then there's the glaring issue of the neighbor never reported anything. You know, the first person to report that Suzanne Simpson was missing was Brad. And it's actually Brad's report that brought the police to the neighbor to
I'm not down with that, Powers,
statement.
and I'll tell you why. Because the witness was very clear that he could see them and then arguing in the driveway, and then they walked out of his sight line behind some trees. That is rich in detail, and it seems believable. Also, I'm pretty sure the police have gone to his vantage point to determine whether he could see what he says he saw. And also, Jeff Horney, a longtime friend of Suzanne and Brad Simpson's, she left that posh club. She was walking off, let's see that photo, alone in her nice outfit. She was stomping out of there for a
We're going to go over this affidavit in just a moment.
reason. Okay. It wasn't like her husband was escorting her politely to the car. There she goes. She's there with him and she's leaving alone. All right. That tells.
I have 4 pastors in my family, Diana. One of them, my aunt's husband, who was married. They were married for 40 some years. My aunt, her daughter, my cousin, had just graduated to becoming a nurse practitioner. Just graduated. She ended up getting brain tumors, and it was cancer, and she died. While my aunt was taking care of my cousin, her daughter, he was having an affair with someone in the church. And then after my cousin died, their daughter, my aunt, was diagnosed with cancer, terminal. And she divorced him. And now my aunt is deceased. Both are deceased. And just because they are pastors doesn't mean anything. Nobody would have ever have thought my uncle would do something like that. We thought he was this man of God. You could have knocked, they were together 40 some years. You could have knocked me over with a feather after my cousin, who was, she was older than me, but she just graduated school, college, becoming a nurse practitioner. She was on her way to get her doctorate, and died of cancer. Then her mom dies of cancer. She had ovarian cancer, and never have thought in a million years. So my cousin, who was a nurse practitioner, I grew up poor, and I was raised by my grandmother. We didn't have a car. My grandmother never drove. When my grandfather died, he was the one that drove. And she was the one that would take me to piano lessons, as every week she would take me to piano lessons. And if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't have been able to take piano or everything. So she took me to all those places, and it's just really sad that that's the outcome of it, and that's just where it's always going to be. So you just never ever know. So just because, and she said, the lady in here that was just talking about DV, she said her man is a pastor, right? Just because you're a pastor doesn't mean you're holy. Just tell you that right now. Thank you, Suzanne. Thank you, my dear. Really, really do appreciate you. My heart hurts about this. Please, Dad. Thank you, my dear. Thank you. Really appreciate you. Hopefully we can get her out of there. That will be the best thing if that's something she wants to do and decides to do. We can find her resources and get her out of there.
Me, they were having an argument.
Yeah, don't forget that she evidently someone.
I mean, it's a sad thing. You go up in homelessness to get out of an abusive relationship. She said her and her son was homeless for 8 months.
Somewhere in between here and the house, she called her mother, and her mother said that she was saying that Brad had struck her in the stomach, and I guess it hit her a couple of times, and she was hurting.
So sorry, Diana.
Her mother was the last one to talk to her, I assume, in between that time. So we know that there was more going on than just a little pushing and shoving. Not that, and that even that's not right. So
I'm so sorry, Janet.
Yeah, and that leads up to what the neighbor says he observed in the driveway.
Thank you so much, sweet Nina. Whoops, there we go. Sorry, I was giving you the X button. Sorry about that, my dear. Thank you so much, my love. Really, really do appreciate you.
Okay. And we know the single most dangerous time for a woman is when she's pregnant, which homicide, the number one cause of death for pregnant women, not blood pressure or heart attack, homicide. And 2, when she's trying to leave an abusive situation. Then on top of it all, if my husband was missing, I would be lying on the courthouse steps, screaming,
Thank you, Diana.
Find my husband. Help me. But what is he doing? He's being uncooperative. Listen.
Both Suzanne and Brad Simpson's families have condemned his behavior publicly. Brother Barton Simpson took to Facebook with a strongly worded post, quote,
"Let me tell you something. That is why many pastors, teachers, coaches, that is why they do what they do, is because they're pervs.
Until Brad chooses to cooperate, we will continue to cooperate for him, as we have from the very beginning of this heartbreaking ordeal. This is not how he was raised, and this is not who we are. Brad's refusal to cooperate is unacceptable." Simpson's brother went on to say their family is shattered and will stop at nothing to bring Suzanne home.
Really, Kendra? In Mass, where I am, they require damn police report for DV shelters. It's really sad, or there is no room. Wow.
Got back.
Here's Mom.
I had
Listen
an
to this.
opportunity to talk for an hour before a lot of this has happened. My speculation is maybe the whole thing is alcohol related, because when she got back, she called me up and told me the things that Brad had done to her physically. Well, I came up with an alternative plan for her and hoped that she'd move in with me and have her little toddler go to the elementary school in my neighborhood. I never got to tell her the plan.
That is from Suzanne's mother and from our friends at WOAI News 4.
I do think it's alcohol related. Many Panthers 2 months ago, we had to vote out our 72-year-old pastor. He was having an affair with church. I don't understand why, especially when you're that old and you're having an affair, you know, statistically, you're more likely to meet Jesus soon when you're 72 years old than you are if you're, 50, right? You're 72 years old and you're a pastor of a church. And it's beyond. Oh, thank you, Elizabeth. We'll see if she can, get in touch with me.
Jeff Horney, longtime friend of Suzanne and Brad Simpson. That's what you were telling us, that the mom learned he had punched Suzanne in the stomach and more.
You're right, a true psychic. I would rather be around tattooed, piercing people that may look a little different to society and be good to people than I would someone in a suit that stands at a pulpit and doesn't practice what they preach. I would much rather be around those people. That's what Jesus did, right? He hung around the people that maybe didn't make the best decisions, but he hung around them for a reason, right? And I used to do a lot of research on a lot of the mega pastors that us as Americans look up to. And there is not one that I have researched that I would recommend. That is a mega pastor. There's just not one. The multiple, I mean, and it's tax free. They don't got to pay taxes on any of it, right? It's all umbrellaed under their thing, right? So so there's that. Thank you, Tracy. Love it here 1 month. We love having you here, Tracy. Thank you so much. Oh, Elizabeth, thank you, honey, to find help in a safe place. Thank you so much. She said she's going to email me here in a little bit, so hopefully we can find her something. Thank you so much, my dear. It's very generous of you.
And Jeff, I learned this not only from the Battered Women's Center there in Atlanta, but from all the years of prosecuting. It's not a statistic, it's anecdotal for me that when a woman has in place a plan, and the mom had a plan to move in with her, and they were going to put the little girl, the 5-year-old, into the local school right down the street from the grandma.
And that's the thing, right? She had a plan. Suzanne had a plan. However, just being around, your soon-to-be ex is a very dangerous time. It's very dangerous. Alone, right? If you need to go back to your home, have someone go with you. Call the police. Say, I need to get some of my stuff or whatever. But they may try to manipulate you, try to talk kind to you until they get you behind doors alone. And then when you are alone, you are screwed. Don't think you can do it on your own. Thank you, Governor Pincus. The physical scars go away. The mental scars remain. God took care of my son and I, just the two of us, in my sons and my song. Love you, Justin. Oh, amen, Governor Pincus. God bless you guys. It's tough. Tough. I love your little dog. I swear I love that little picture. I want you to send me a picture of that little dog. It reminds me of the Muppets. Every time I see it, it makes me laugh. It's so cute. Holly, yes, thank you, my dear. Really do appreciate you guys. Very sweet of you. Makes me laugh. Just that little thing there. Okay. We're almost done with this. We're going to read the affidavit in just a minute.
They didn't have time to implement the plan.
We're talking about minutes,
Yes, Tori.
If Mrs. Clark had a little more time, maybe she could have gone and picked him up. Or it's just tragic, man. I can't even imagine. Suzanne was a little tiny thing. I can't imagine these two guys, throwing her body around in all these different trash cans, and it's terrible. And she didn't deserve that at all.
This is a friend. This is a friend right here.
Exactly. And as Zach Taylor-Wright was telling us earlier, Jeff, the husband said, quote,
sure are, Suzanne.
I don't have much time. His business partner hid an AK-47 for him before this whole thing cracked wide open. The thought of an AK-47 in the same sentence with Suzanne.
Exactly, Nancy.
Is just, it's beyond words, Jeff.
I have a question for you. Why can't...
It just amazes me that so many of you guys in here have been through this. I am so sorry. terrible.
Why can't they
But y'all
go
got
to
out.
Brad and say, look, your gig is up. Tell us where I don't understand why they can't go to him and get him to tell us where
Butterflies. She was saying that the DV line did not help her and that she was homeless for 8 months. And so I told her we would, rent her a room for her and her son. She wanted to get out, and I know someone who finds, private resources in any city in America. She'll find it.
she is. He's done.
Oh, I'll tell you that.
I know you will.
Jeff.
Yeah.
Because once he admits he knows where is her body, that means he put her there. That means he killed her. And right now,
Hold on, what was that?
Admits.
I know you
Jeff.
will. Yeah.
Because once he admits he knows where is her body, that means he put her there.
That's exactly right.
That
To
means
know where someone is and nobody else does, that means you put
he
them
killed
there.
her. And right now, cops don't have a body. And many people believe no
Me too,
body,
Rhonda.
no
Me
case.
too.
He's actually sitting in a cell right now thinking he's going to beat this thing. If he and his buddy can keep their yaps shut, he may just be right. That's why. And just like in his last sentence, I don't have much time. It's all about me, 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 me. Help me. Forget about Suzanne. Forget about her decomposing body. Forget about the little 5-year-old girl wanting mommy, seeing mommy beaten up with bruises and taking her cell phone away. That's her last memory of mommy. And he is sitting in a cell right now, gnashing his teeth and switching his tail, wondering, how can I?
Diana Justin, my son was 6, my middle was 8, and my oldest daughter 10 when I walked away. My son left his abusive wife, is now a single father raising his 15-year-old. He's a great father. God bless you all, Diana. And that's true. And primarily it is men who abuse women. However, I think it's 70% is men using women, and it's 30% women abusing men. It's about it. But still,
this
God
rap.
bless him.
That's why.
He did the right thing. You both did the right thing. And, your grandchild doesn't have to see this. His mom doing that anymore.
If you know or think you know anything about the disappearance of Suzanne Clark Simpson, we beg you to call Detective Hector Ruiz, 210-209-2701. Repeat, 210-209-2701. And now we stop to remember an American hero, Sergeant Megan Burke, OK City PD, killed in the line of duty.
Wow.
Having served with OK City PD over 6 years, she's survived by grieving parents, Patrick and Patricia. A young American hero, Sergeant Megan Burke. Thank you to all of our guests, especially to our new friend, Zachary Taylor Wright from mysanantonio.com and Jeff Horney. Thank you for being with us. Nancy Grace signing off. I'll see you tomorrow night, 6 to 9 o'clock sharp Eastern. And
Nancy's amazing. I love Nancy. She's fought for these victims for decades. First as a prosecutor, and now this. So thank you so much. Let's look at these affidavits here, and let's see what they say. Yes, one Mad Mama. All right. Let me make this a little bigger. Hey, Pooh Bear. All right. The state of Texas, county of Bexar. A victim in this case is identified as Suzanne Clark Simpson. Date of birth, that redacted, all that. Turn this music down a little bit. Okay. It is the belief of your affiant that the offense of assault caused bodily injury to a family member was committed on or about the 6th day of October 2024 in Bexar County, Texas. Your affiant has probable cause for said belief by reason of the following facts. Texas Ranger Jesse L. Perez is a Texas peace officer employed by the Texas Department of Safety. Okay, let's get to the stuff. On 10/8/2024, Texas Ranger Jesse Perez was requested by the Almost Police Department, OPPD, to assist with the missing persons investigation. I learned that the investigation was being documented under redacted. Spoke with OPPD Police Chief Fidel Villages, who briefed me on the investigation. I know Chief Villages to be a credible and reliable. I learned from Chief Villages that OPPD was dispatched to 520 East Almost Park, Bexar County, Texas, for a missing person report. I learned from Chief Villages that Brad Chandler Simpson, redacted, reported his wife Susan Clark Simpson, redacted, missing. I learned Miss Simpson was entered into NCIC as a missing person under the NCIC number M638149075. I learned that the Simpsons and their 2 children reside at the residence. They actually have 4 children, just 2 are adults. One is 5, the other one is 15, by the way. I learned from Chief Villages that Miss Simpson cell phone was missing. I learned from Chief Villages that on 10/6/2024, the Simpsons attended a party at the Argyle located at 934 Patterson Avenue before returning to their home. I learned that Miss Simpson reported that at 1500 hours on 10/7/2024, he received a call for the school advising him that their daughter had not been picked up from school. Mr. Simpson stated that Miss Simpson usually picks up their daughter at school. I learned from Chief Villages that Mr. Simpson was uncooperative during the investigation and failed to attend the scheduled follow-up interview. I learned that Mr. Simpson had relocated to his ranch property in Bandera. Okay, bear with me. Let's pop this up. Thank you so much, sweet Nina. Appreciate you, my love. Very kind of you. All right. And appeared to be separating himself from his family. I learned from Chief Villages that he interviewed Mr. Simpson's brother, Barton T. Simpson, redacted. Chief Villages told me that Barton Simpson told him that Mr. Simpson had called him and apologized for all their problems that they had caused. I spoke with OPPD Officer Tubbs, who advised me that he obtained information from redacted regarding the Simpsons' youngest child. Redacted. Officer Tubbs told me that he spoke with the school staff, redacted, on 10/8/2024 at approximately 4:37 p.m., who advised him that Charlie D. Simpson told staff that his mom and dad were, quote, fighting, end quote, Officer Tubbs also stated that Redacted told him that Charlie D. Simpson told the staff that her dad had hit her mom in the face and possibly pushed her into a wall. Officer Tubbs also stated that Redacted told him that Redacted told staff that her mom had a bruise on her elbow and that her dad had taken her mom's cell phone away. Wow, these kids have seen more. That's sad. Kids are smart. Remember, folks, remember how quickly we forget how intelligent kids are. If you went through something when you were a child, you knew more than your parents or the adults around you thought you knew. We all do. Kids are very observant. They are sponges. They absorb everything that is going around them. That is how they learn. This was prior. Yes, there was some. I guess this was prior, or maybe, just prior to her disappearing. So she had bruises and had her phone taken away. That he had possibly pushed her in a wall. Officer Tubbs also stated that Redacted told staff that her mom had a bruise on her elbow and that her dad had taken the mom's cell phone away. At approximately 9:50 p.m., I conducted a non-custodial interview on Redacted, who resides across the street at 515 Almost Drive 2, number 2, for the Simpsons residence. I know Hernandez to be a credible and reliable. Hernandez advised that on 10/6/24, he was in his bedroom, which has an exterior window that faces the Simpson residence. Redacted advised that at approximately 10 to 11 p.m., he heard what appeared to be arguing between two people outside his window. Redacted explained that the arguing became louder and seemed closer to his window. Redacted said that he later looked out the window and observed both Mr. Simpson and Miss Simpson involved in a physical altercation. God, I wish they would have called. Redacted described that he observed that Mr. Simpson was grabbing Miss Simpson by the upper torso area to gain control over her body. Redacted stated that he observed that Mr. Simpson was attempting to get away, that Miss Simpson, rather, was attempting to get away from Mr. Simpson. Mr. Simpson's grasp as he tried to pull her downwards. Redacted told me that he observed that after an approximately 1 minute struggle, both Mr. Simpson and Mr. Simpson were last seen headed westbound from his residence. Redacted advised that it appeared that Mr. Simpson was clearly attempting to keep Miss Simpson from running away. Redacted advised that he later grabbed the flashlight and went outside to look for Mr. and Mrs. Simpson. Redacted said that a short time later, he heard three screams from a wooden brushy area east of the residence. Redacted explained that he returned to his residence and approximately 1 hour later, he observed Mr. Simpson's truck start, which is a black GMC pickup. I showed you guys that earlier, up and depart the location. Redacted advised that Miss Simpson returned approximately 1 or 2 hours later. I spoke with OPPD Sergeant Melissa Campbell, who advised me that she had contacted AT&T regarding Miss Simpson's cell phone. Right then and there, when that fight was going on, she may not have been deceased today. or if she was, then he would have most likely been caught. After the neighbors hear screaming in the woods, then he goes to his truck. He starts it up. And he's gone for an hour or two. And he comes back home. So she's probably not too far away. You think you got to drive there. You got to dispose, which can take, depends on how someone is disposing rather. The person can take seconds. It can take several minutes or longer. Justin, what is wrong with the officer? Because 9 times out of 10, someone is going to jail if there is a DV involved. Well, that's the problem. This is the officer getting the neighbor's account of what happened. And the neighbor did not call when this was going on. And this is, Kendra just said it. She took the words out of my mouth. This is when, if you see something, say something. If you hear something that could sound like DV or someone being unalived or fear, say something. Even if you hear something, say something in those cases. So there's that. Dana, thank you so much, my dear, for gifting a pearl necklace. Really appreciate you, my dear. If you received that pearl necklace, make sure you thank our sweet Dana. Love you to pieces, my dear. Thank you so much. Very kind of you as well. I wish my neighbors called 911 for us, just saying. Well, do y'all remember back in early, what was it? I was on a little vacation, and I was sitting outside at night, sitting out next to the fire, and we heard a scream, this big blood curdling scream, and it just kept going and going and going. And remember that, Susan? And me and a couple of the other guys and women started looking where it was coming out of what room. And we headed that direction. We all found what room it was. 911 was called. Okay, troopers, thank you, my dear, and thank you for sharing that with me, of course. That was the same with the woman at 2 a.m. Yes. And that, ironically, was on the same floor that I was on. It was at the I was on one end of the hallway. They were on the exact opposite, like as far as you could get from me. And they came there and they hauled his ass off to jail. And the woman, which is very typical in DV situations, what got very angry at the officers for taking this man to jail, because they were probably like us. They were from out of town. And this was probably a vacation for them. They were probably drinking. And of course, alcohol or drugs is never a good thing whenever, with people who, where there's situations where DV is involved or whatever. Oh, yeah. She was saying that don't take him and all that, because a lot of times people's afraid that when they get back, they're going to get it twice as hard. This man was strangling this woman. He was choking her. And they took him out in cuffs. And, many times people don't feel like they have the financial means to, step away. But if it has gotten that bad where you are being strangled, you're not going to have a life left. You're not going to have a life left one day when it's just the right amount of anger for this buffoon, or just the right amount of pressure, or you're going to not have enough oxygen to your brain and you're going to be a vegetable for the rest of your life. It's very sad. And sometimes I think, well, they want them, to be taken out, but they say, please don't take him, because they don't want to get it later. They're trying to stand up. It's a tactic used as, yeah, I'm glad you're taking him secretly, but I'm going to say, please don't take him because I know I'm going to get it later. Yes, Susan. Yes. Yep. If you could have like a bag packed at all times at your friend's house or someplace that they can't see it, that works as well. All right, let's continue to this. I spoke with OPPD Sergeant Melissa Campbell, who advised me that she had contacted AT&T regarding Miss Simpson's cell phone. Redacted learned from Sergeant Campbell that she was told that the last known activity from the cell phone was on 10/7/2024, approximately 7:15 in the morning near the GPS coordinates. Redacted. This location is located within a business park lot in Almost Park, Texas. I learned that there has been no more activity since the last known ping. At the time of the affidavit, there have been no signs of life from Miss Simpson. The fact that this affidavit includes, but are not limited to, personal observations, training and experiences, and information obtained from other peace officers, this affidavit is intended to show merely that there is sufficient probable cause for the request warrant and does not set forth all of my knowledge about this matter. Your affiant has reason to believe and does believe the said defendant, Brad Chandler Simpson, on or about the 6th day of October 2024 in Bexar County, Texas, is a person commits an offense if the person, 1, intentionally, knowingly, or recklessly causes bodily injury to another, including the person's spouse, 2, intentionally or knowingly threatens another without imminent bodily injury, including the person's spouse, or 3, intentionally or knowingly causes physical contact with another when the person knows or should reasonably believe that the other will regard the contact as offensive or provocative. So, they know a lot. They know a lot. Now, they are looking around a specific area in this. Let me see if I can pull this up. Bear with me 1 second, my sweet little pearls.
So what new information can you share with us?
So Sunday night between 10 and 11 approximately, there was a disturbance at a club. It's called the Argyle Club in Alamo Heights between Brad Simpson and his wife, Suzanne Simpson. They've been married approximately 22 years to the best of our knowledge, have 4 children. They live here in Almost Park. At that time, we didn't get notified of that disturbance or anything unusual until 24 hours later when it was reported to us by Mr. Simpson that she was missing. So at that point, we handled it like a missing person. Facts were developed pursuant to that and speaking with Mr. Simpson and then other people that were calling in to give us.
I say it every time. I say it every time. I don't know why. I still say it. It's Bear, but I always say Bexer. I still say it. I lived in San Antonio 3 months, and I still say it.
Facts seem to indicate that it was possible that it got physical and there was an altercation. Here in Almost Park later on, the evidence that was obtained by us and some other eyewitnesses seemed to indicate that it got physical here in Almost Park. So I made an appointment to schedule an appointment with Mr. Simpson, and he didn't keep that appointment, so he's been uncooperative with that. We have searched for Suzanne. We don't know where she is. We'd love to find her. We don't know if she's somewhere hiding away or someplace that her family doesn't know where she's at. She hasn't been to work.
She's not hiding.
So obviously we're very concerned. Many people came out to help us search for her. And still, we haven't found her. We did develop enough information to obtain a warrant with the assistance of the Texas Rangers, actually 2 warrants. One was for assault, family violence, and the other one was for unlawful restraint. So in the early morning hours, about 1:30 a.m., we arrested Mr. Simpson, and we had support. This was not in Bexar County. This was actually in Kendall County. And it was for those 2 warrants that were approved by the Bexar County Magistrate. Other than that, we are continuing this investigation. We're asking anybody who has information on where she might be. And actually, there's going to be a photograph of Mr. Simpson's vehicle that we're concerned with. Although he's presently in jail in Kendall County, we would like to know if any people here had any sighting of that pickup truck this weekend, and we'll put out a good picture of that GMC pickup truck. It's a 2019 dark colored like a black GMC Sierra pickup truck.
Isn't that the same thing? What kind of truck did Barry Morphew have? And what kind of truck does Chris have?
And we'll put
2016, 24. I don't really know.
Put that photo and everything out on the social media.
So the truck is missing at this point?
The truck is not missing. What we're looking for is maybe people who saw it somewhere that might have been unusual, or they spotted it somewhere that, could indicate that it was suspicious. Anybody who saw a truck like that, and again, we'll put it out within the half hour, the photo of it. It's a 2019 GMC pickup truck. And I believe the picture is on social media of Mr. Simpson himself. So we're asking if anyone has information like that to please contact us.
Chief, is there any history of domestic violence between the couple?
No, we can't prove that, but right now we're in the process of interviewing many people. It's a tight-knit community here in Almost Park. So they had very, very many friends and a lot of family. So many of the people are telling us, that there has been tension in the family, but, that can be very common. So we don't know. We're going by the facts that we have that seem to indicate that
Okay, Barry Morphew had a Ford F-350. That's what he had. But you know something? When it comes to Barry Morphew, they charged him. Suzanne was not found. They let him go. And guess what? Suzanne was found. They were looking for someone else. And Suzanne was found. Now they need to be charging him again.
The assault occurred that night, Sunday night. Again, we weren't notified until Monday night about this.
Where is her cell phone?
We don't know the location of her cell phone. We would love to know where it is, but obviously we don't have it. We will be running search warrants that we worked on.
That's in my opinion. But Barry Morphew actually has a $15 million lawsuit against Colorado DA, FBI. It was dismissed 1 year after Suzanne Morphew remains were discovered, though.
Early morning hours, to get those search warrants, and we'll be looking for that.
The arrest affidavit also says that he was removing himself from the family home.
That being that he was out of the county and he was not responsive.
It was dismissed just in September.
To me and request to assist us with any of this.
Were they separating?
How do you guys feel about this? What is your opinion on this? I want to hear it. So, in my opinion, I've got evidence, photos of like the tranquilizer that was found in the dryer that, in my opinion, Barry Morphew used on Suzanne. And there's a lot of different factors, right? Where he was seen throwing stuff in different trash and all of that. Now, Barry and Suzanne's children, they are supporting their father. We see this many times, right? We see one parent is gone and they support the other parent. Is that because, do you think because they've already lost one parent, they can't imagine the other parent doing this to their mother or their father in other cases, and they don't want to lose any more? Or denial? You think, YouTuber? I think, yeah, it has to be that, as Elle says. Oh, thank you, my dear. Too many shoes. Thank you, my dear. Really do appreciate you. Here is my Muppet. LOL. God bless you, Justin, for having a true. Oh, thank you, my dear. You're a little Muppet. Is it apricot? Is that an apricot poodle? So cute. So cute. Poodles are one of the most intelligent breeds of dog. They're wonderful, wonderful, wonderful dogs. At one time, I had 2 standard poodles. They were black. Poodles are wonderful dogs. The abusers convicted them. The victim at fault. Yeah. I think Suzanne, I think Barry was jealous and all of that. So 77 BM also put all his money in the daughter's name, so he gets charged again. He has nothing now. Yeah, well, he went to Mexico for a while. I love Golden Doodles. As the cream colored fur, Golden Doodles are amazing. My little Jaja, my little puggy. I have a pug. Is what the very electric complex. Electric complex. I'll look that up.
I don't have that information.
Did the neighbor indicate why he didn't call 911?
No, we don't know that.
You don't know.
Where was he arrested? Like
In Kendall County.
You love pugs. I'll have some pug puppies probably in the next 6 or 8 months or something like that.
It would have been I-10 and off I-10 on a frontage road eastbound in Kendall County.
Oh, JJ, that's so cute. Yes, I have a little pug girl. Well, Castle, it's because you guys are amazing. That's the reason I have the best audience. You all are amazing.
With that.
I heard we heard volunteers were asked
Yeah.
to go home and not search the area. Why?
We didn't have anything
Or
scheduled for volunteers. That was yesterday, and many volunteers came out, and they were very helpful, and we appreciate them, and we might need.
One of my sons, he wants a golden retriever so bad. He wants a golden retriever so bad. We love you, Elizabeth.
Them again. But right now, since all our manpower is tied up in other things, the priority is elsewhere, and we don't want folks searching right now without the police or some supervision out there.
What are the main areas of search right now?
Basically, we searched the woods yesterday behind you along Contour right here.
Chief, there's a lot of police activity on this road in front of the house.
Oh, wow.
Are your people inside their house or around the area?
Presently not, but we will be.
Inside the home.
Yes.
Are you widening the physical search? Are you planning to widen it at all?
We may. That depends on what the search yields today.
And foul play, has that ever come into question? Is that?
Of course, in these situations, you tend to look at whether foul play was involved. There was enough foul play for us to obtain warrants for assault and for unlawful restraint. But at the same time, we've received so much information that we're not counting out anything. These things, there can be family violence, and then something very unusual happened, and somebody else is totally involved. So we're not focusing just on one thing or one person. It's not like that. But surely, foul play is the more time passes, the more time we believe foul play was involved.
Chief, do you know why he was in Kendall County?
Do you mean Evelyn Boswell? Whispering? Yep, we'll be covering that, of course. Yeah.
The family has some property, and he was generally in that area, out of this area, and again, he just wasn't responding to us, and that's what happened.
In the arrest affidavit, it states that their child told a school staff member that she saw her mom get hit.
Anything involving that, any child like that, I'm not going to comment on.
You mentioned that this is a tight-knit community, and you're now hearing that there was tension between the couple. Do you tend to find out in a community like this that domestic violence doesn't get reported as much as...
That's in every community.
Everywhere. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
Are you considering the husband as a suspect in the disappearance?
He's more than a suspect in the assault, but we don't know anything beyond that. That's what the searches today will be about.
Here, Diana.
Any change in the color of clothing other than black outfit?
No, sir. That was the last that we know that she was wearing. A black dress. It looked, like someone was dressed up nicely.
I mean, have you gotten answers from family if she is known to do this, to go off?
It's highly unusual for her. Suzanne was known, or is known, as a very loving and reliable person, especially with her children and her work. And so she hasn't been to work, and she hasn't contacted her children. And so, yes.
I had a French bulldog back in 1999 whenever they were so incredibly rare then. My girlfriend bred them, and his name was Max, and he was an asshole. That dog was. He was mean. I think the trainer even gave up on him. I'm telling you, like, it was bad. Anybody notice how police in other states put out all the info to the public to a case solved? In Tennessee, keeps everything a big secret and therefore does not get cases solved. Yes, because let me tell you something. The public is the ones that solve the cases. That's the ones that solve the cases, the public. They are the ones that hear and see things, right? And law enforcement is the one that puts it together. But it's hard to put things together if you like conceal every little thing. Why didn't Sumner ever put out a video and ask people to call police if they saw the vehicle? I know, Elisa. I know. It's frustrating as hell. If she were alive, she would see he's locked up and come home. There's just no way in hell she would leave. There's just not a chance in hell that he would leave. It's just not possible. Let's see here. Show you this. It seems that a certain creator's girlfriend that has a Frenchie is a bit mean as well. Bit his dog. Oh, really, Deanna? This was the last time she was seen walking off, and she was also being followed. I find it odd how every other police department in every other state actually tries to solve their cases. Please email me. Yes. Email me. We'll get you some help. We have a golden boy buddy who is the sweetest. If you get a golden, it will be a wonderful. Yeah, my son, he's obsessed with golden retrievers. That's all he does is like watch for golden retriever videos. Huskies are extremely smart. Let me tell you something. I love huskies, and huskies are beautiful dogs. But my girlfriend owns a grooming place, and I helped her one summer. And huskies and German shepherds, I call them German cheddars, they shed so much. Pugs shed so much. So much. I have very good Frenchies and a fluffy Frenchie, and they're the sweetest. Mine, I was a teenager when we had ours, and it would protect, like if I got even close to my grandmother, it would tear my ass up. Shelties are beautiful. She sheds a lot. I got one of those high velocity blowers. Do you know what I'm talking about? That's what they use at the groomer, and you can get them on Amazon for like $60. And it comes out, the dryer, it comes out at like a Hurricane 3. It comes out and it pops that hair, the loose hair off. It separates it and it fluffs them up real nice. It's the best thing ever. Let me show you. This is what I have right here. Every person that has a dog, especially a dog that sheds, needs one of these. If you have, it blows all the hair out in the neighbor's yard. Yes. If you have dogs or cats that shed, that's exactly what your mom asked for Xmas. I'm telling you, that's what you need. Because oh, they have them on TikTok. I got Amazon. Let me show you this. It dries them really quickly. See the dog. It's like $65, something like that. Hold on, I'll send you the link. Let me find it. Bear with me 1 second, y'all. One second. Gotta sign in here. Okay, come on, give me the link. Goodness gracious. Here you go. Did that link populate? It's the best thing ever. I mean, it's, I'll tell you the best place, like if you're doing it, if you can't do it outdoors, the best place to do it is in your bathtub. So you put your dog in your bathtub and then and it's like, and that's how we did it when I was helping my friend at her grooming shop. But it's amazing. It's got 11,720 reviews and almost a 5-star. It's the best thing you'll ever use, ever. And one day I couldn't find we were doing a birthday party. Okay, Kelsey, thank you. One day we were doing a birthday party and I could not find my thing to blow up balloons with. So let me show you what I did. I used this part right here. I put the balloon around it, the round one. I put the balloon around it and I'd hit the button and it comes out at a hurricane speed and it goes and as soon as you hit the button on, it like blows it up and you got to immediately hit it off and you got to take it off. But hey, it worked. It worked. I blew up balloons with it. So it's a double thing. Oh, I'm telling you, if you it's the best thing. What's good for skin allergies for motion? The best thing, Pam, is your dog is probably a very light color, isn't it? Is it a light color dog, like white, cream color, something like that? Check and see. Have you checked and see what your dog is allergic to? Usually it's let me show you. Hold on 1 second. The Hills Science Diet sensitive stomach right here is a really good one. And if you just use a that's a really good one. Also, if you use a colloidal oatmeal, bath, that helps too. Salmon oil is really good. Vitamin E, yeah. All of that. Charcoal dog biscuits, yeah. Let me tell you something. My boys, they're cats. I'm allergic to cats. Someone else in my home is allergic to cats. And I buy the Pro Plan Live Clear cat food. It is close to like $90 for 16 pounds. But if I don't use it, it is, I mean, it's really bad. Yeah, it's usually, I mean, it's, you know, because something is having an allergic reaction, they're allergic to something. And it can be eggs, it can be chicken, it can be, but generally a fish based is the best, or chicken is yes, you can give your dog Benadryl in very small doses. Talk to your vet first. So cats can be allergic to, salmon and stuff like that. I don't know, so I really don't. Yeah, Kendra, the Pro Plan's good, but this is the Pro Plan Live Clear. It's so with dogs, we're normally allergic to their dander. With cats, people thinks it's their dander, but we're not allergic to their dander. Most people are allergic to the saliva that cats, cats are always cleaning themselves, licking themselves. We're allergic to their saliva, and that's what makes us allergic to them. So this food, it's a protein that they used it's made from eggs, and it goes in their system, and when they lick it, it takes away a lot of the allergies. Can't F you up. Terry Lynn couldn't figure out why her husband Kevin, the black cat, was sick. He is allergic to fish. Yep. Started 2 hours ago. 2 hours and 41 minutes ago, Lakeside Lawyer. Only wet food with water added in. Yeah. But pretty soon, I'll have a monkey, hopefully. God, I can't wait. Let's see here. And I gotta get one of these. Let me find it. I gotta get, it's probably very tiny. Yeah, the picture's very tiny. So a little girl be right with me at all times. Oh, Kelsey, can I share this picture? Can I share this picture? Oh, thank you, Lakeside. Why would the vet not have suggested that? My cat almost died due to that. What's that, Gypsy? Thank you, Kelsey. I always want to ask before I share something. Look at Kelsey's wood all open. Oh my God. Oh yeah, she'll stay in it. Yes. Monkeys, they don't they want to be with you 24/7. Isn't that so cute? Oh my God. So stinking cute. Let me see if I can find something here. So when I go and get my little girl, I'll be taking you guys along with me. Yeah. Hold on one second, Kelsey. And now hers all grown up. Hers growing up. Hers a lady now. Hers a sweet lady now. SL probably around the 11th of November. I'll be driving south. She adorable. So adorable. Crap, where's it at? Let me see here. Let me see if I can find something. Maybe. Well, damn, it's not going to show me. Okay, I'll show it to you later. It's okay. I'm getting a spider monkey. A spider monkey. She's 6 or 8 weeks old. I had 2 poodles. The poodles are amazing. Look like the therapy dogs we had at work. Golden retrievers, they are... Oh, Sharon, I'm sorry. Animal therapy is great recovery too. Yes, yes. But golden retrievers, they're amazing dogs. Amazing dogs. Good family dogs. All right, guys. I will be back this evening. It is 5:36 p.m. on the East Coast. I'll be back about 8:30. Yeah, retrievers are very loyal. They are. Dogs are man's best friend for a reason, right? Goldie passed at 60. Oh, SL. Y'all should have texted me and say, "Are y'all going live?" All right. I was trying to get some. I was going to go live again last night, and then I was like, I need to clean, so I did. Yeah. Oh, I am obsessed. I'm obsessed with them. Our family adventures. They have more than 5 now, don't they, Sam? They have 7 now, I think. They just got another baby spider, and yes, Trishy, and they got a capuchin. Okay, I'm obsessed. So, but you'll see a lot more videos of me with like more, you know, with my monkey and stuff as well. So. Yeah, Lisa, they do. I tell you, you think cat piss is bad? Let me tell you an embarrassing story that happened to me. When I was dating a different person before I was way long time ago, before I was married or anything, I went to Indianapolis Zoo. The guy I was with, had to travel for work, so I went along, and that weekend we went to the zoo. And we get to the lions, and there's a bunch of us standing in a line. You know how you do at a zoo, standing in line, and you're looking at the animals. Well, there was this lion, and it's going back and forth, just looking at us back and forth, like that. And it stops right in front of me. And this is the time, I'm telling my age, where you have wind up cameras. Remember wind-up cameras? And I go like that, and it goes like that. And I was like, oh, I think it likes me, y'all. I think it likes me. And there is probably 40 people. And I'm a diva and I'm loud anyway. So the lion does this, and then it turns around. Yeah, the disposable cameras, yes. And it turns around, backs its ass on the fence, and sprays me. Sprays me. Now, this is a lion, a male lion. And the guy I was with and about 60 other people kind of got a girl beside of me too, and we're like, my ex, he was on the ground laughing, and I'm like, it was terrible. And we are about an hour and a half, an hour or so from the room. And I don't know. I mean, obviously, I think everyone smelled cat piss at least once in their life. You never get the smell out of your, what did you do? I'm sorry. I took a damn picture and it went like that. And I mean, people are fucking rolling. My ex, especially. And let me tell you something. I never stink, Bridget. I want to tell you that right now. I smell like a Francais whore. I don't stink. And so, like, I had to ride all the way to my hotel room, and I just throw away my shirt. Just absolutely throw away my shirt. And went straight. And that's something. I think I have a picture of, I think I have that picture of that lion. I need to find that picture. How many visitors, flashing cameras back, then irritate this? I don't know, but I wasn't the only one taking pictures. But I thought it liked me. I was like, oh, what was funny was I said, oh, it likes me like that. I knew it like that. And it pissed right on me. I was like, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. You are special, Justin. How many people can say they've been marked by a lion? I mean, he might have wanted to marry me. I don't know. All he had to do was purr, and that would have been enough for me. But I guess he wanted to take it an extra step. That's all I can say. He marked you as his. Yeah, liked me too much, I guess. Imagine lion piss. Marking his territory, yeah. Nope. But that's a very embarrassing story. In what car? What do you mean, Yada? What does it smell like? Concentrated. I would have been sick. It smells really bad. It's bad. Yeah. All right, guys. There you go. The more you know. The more you know. Well, the problem is the longer it is on you, the more it stinks. A silverback gorilla admired my wheelchair. We had a nice interaction at the zoo last year. She got other gorillas to see my wheelchair and had me show them how it moves. She didn't mark me though. Yeah. There's a lot of especially the male gorillas. They will put on a show for some of the most attractive ladies, if you know what I mean. So you should do stand-up comedy. It was bad, so bad. All right, I don't mind. I mean, I minded then, but I don't mind speaking about it now. It's been so many years ago. Well, luckily, I sat on a trash bag and a towel. I remember that. I sat on a trash bag and a towel. Do monkeys mark? Some of the little monkeys mark. Like the little marmosets, they kind of mark. And do they shed? They shed just like humans. My wheelchair is decorated in rainbows and runs, and so it's pretty. Oh, that's nice, Cindy. Wheelchair that's pretty. Completely. Yep. All right, guys. I'll see you guys at about 8:30 this evening. Join me then, 8:30 p.m. Eastern. Love you all. I'll see you guys in a little bit. You need to have a tree for your monkey. I'm working. It'll go outside and climb trees, but I'm looking to see what I can do about putting a tree from the floor to the ceiling. I've already got a strip. I'm getting a stripper pole for it as well, because the monkeys like stripper poles. You're welcome. All right, guys. Love you. Bye-bye.